loss at home, game one. I know, I'm like, second round, woo! All that being said, you saw the look on Giannis's face. I think the crowd sounded a little shocked. He looked a little angry, rightfully so. What did we just witness as far as Giannis is concerned?
I think what ends up happening when you're Giannis, and you're going to see a lot of this with Ben Simmons as well, and I want to just unpack this. So Ben Simmons is a backcourt player. When you play off of him, and yet he still drives, he's driving in the taller, big front court players, 6'11", 7-foot guys. When you back off of Giannis and he drives, he's guarding it, going into perimeter guys that are smaller that can't take his contested shot. The Celtics aren't giving him a running start. Mr. Big Shot showed him do a Euro step from 15 feet earlier. They're not giving him that space. They're actually playing him. And so they did a terrific job of shrinking the floor, keeping him perimeter oriented. He did make 3 threes, but you take away his effectiveness in transition, and you definitely try to take away his layups, you try to take away his dunks. And Al Horford, the veteran, is the rock, is the key. 20 points, 11 boards, outplayed Giannis on his own home floor.
Yeah, Al Horford, he balled, man. He really did. But he's always steady. You know, he's Mr. Reliable, Mr. Dependable for that team. But if you're Giannis, you know, here's where you start to have to make adjustments. By the way, this is his first time in the second round. We all know that. Adjustments will have to be made. If you're Giannis, Coach Bud, they came out the Celtics with a terrific defensive game plan. Corral Giannis. Build a wall, if you will. And they did a good job with that. But you know what they say. A playoff series hasn't started until a road team gets a win. Well, the playoff series has definitely started.
That's what started.
So I'm looking forward to the adjustments that will be made.
When I look at the Bucks and I see how they played today, I wonder what could they do better? What adjustments will they make? Because pretty much the Celtics got everything they wanted. They scored in the paint. They out-rebounded them. Kyrie, who's supposed to be a focal point of your scouting report, did whatever he wanted. On the other hand, guys got to step up, I believe, for Milwaukee. Guys like Bledsoe. You got Jaylen Brown. And the one thing that went unnoticed was because they swept through Detroit was missing Brogdon. That's huge. That's huge for Milwaukee now, and you're going to see the effects of that in this series.
And also missing Brogdon, a 50-40-90 guy. A 50-40-90 guy. What ends up happening is you can hide Kyrie on Brown. He doesn't have to play defense on him. So now he has all of his energy going downhill offensively because Kyrie Irving, one of the best offensive players in the game, gets to rest on defense.
By the way, the Celtics did that everything that you mentioned, and this game was 5 minutes shorter than any other playoff game so far. It's like they were in a hurry. But Coach Bud, obviously a great coach. So what do you do? Brogdon not expected to be back for this next one, but how do you change things?
Well, obviously they won't continue to shoot this poorly. Now let's be honest. They got a lot of shots that they normally knock down. They'll knock some of those shots down. If I'm Coach Bud, I'm finding a way to get Giannis a little closer to the basket. They're loading up, they're corralling when he has the ball at the top of the key. Try to get him some block catches. Now when they come on a double team, all your shooters are spaced out, and you got to be able to knock down shots. That's what their team is built on.
And also for the Bucks, Beads, you need that second guy like Middleton who was an all-star, or that other guy like Bledsoe to have moments of the game where they can take over a quarter, take over a half, take all of the pressure off Giannis. Like Mirotic did a good job coming off the bench and making shots. But you need those guys to be a factor to the point where now the Celtics have to start to concentrate on them because they start to go off against you.
Well, yeah, Giannis definitely has to play better, but as a team, I don't know where Milwaukee goes from here. Because
Whoa. So is this over?
No, listen, I think it's over.
This series is over.
Yeah, they lost.
Game? You just sat there and said that they could win an NBA championship.
Yeah, I did say that, but
one game.
I think styles make fights in boxing.
We know the style of both teams before the series started.
Yeah, but it just seemed like Milwaukee was the way better team throughout the regular season. But when I watched this today, if Giannis doesn't have a monster game and somebody else besides him doesn't step up, Boston is just going to out-talent them. Because when you look down the line, even if Kyrie Irving doesn't have a great game, Tatum, he didn't play too well today. He can step up big the next game. So it's like, as a Milwaukee, as a coaching staff, do I say, okay, do we focus our concentration on Kyrie? Because now Tatum can step up. Guys like Marcus Morris can step up. Terry Rozier. And that's why the Celtics are dangerous. They just have more. They have more talent than the Milwaukee Bucks.
They're without Brogdon, but they're without Marcus Smart. But here's the thing: like a guy like Brook Lopez is a knockdown three-point shooter, but the biggest guy or the best defender up front is Al Horford. He's guarding the Greek Freak, which means Lopez is always going to be guarded by a smaller guy. He got to get inside like he did his first 7 years of his career and punish somebody.
Yeah, 3 points.
That also will take a lot of pressure off Giannis. And the other thing, and Doug Collins and I used to talk about this a lot, the game is really hard when you can't consistently make jump shots. And Giannis, the best player with the ball, if he's not making jump shots, they just shrink the floor.
Over, he said. It's over. We do have another game, though. Klay Thompson. He came out late to warm up. He's listed in the starting lineup along with Andre Iguodala. It's the Hamptons 5. Looking like they're going to start this thing tonight. What do you guys think of Steve Kerr's decision for Game 1, Chauncey?
I love it. I love it. Coach Kerr knows the importance of Game 1. He knows the importance. He knows the danger that's in their building with the Houston Rockets. Even if these guys aren't 100%, they're both threats. You won't leave them open. Your defense has to guard and game plan for the Splash Brothers. So I love his decision. Obviously, he wouldn't put these guys in harm's way.
It's a great point because they're valuable to him. We're going to go courtside now. It is Rockets. It is Warriors. It is Game 1. Only Michael Jordan has scored 45 points in 3 straight playoff games. Durant could match that tonight, Paul. How do you guard him?
There's no way to guard him. I mean, I'm
so daunting.
The great scorers in this league, you just got to hope that they miss. You're talking about a true unicorn here, something we've never seen in the league, a 7-footer who can put it on the ground, who can pull up jumpers, who can shoot long range, who can post you up. His game is unlimited.
Oh, so here's something. James Harden averaged 33-9 against the Warriors. That's the regular season. Round 1, though, he shot 37%. Who are we going to see today?
I think he'll be more efficient in this series. I think the one thing about the Rockets, unlike the Bucks, we saw Giannis struggle, they lose the game. We've seen Harden struggle, and Houston still find a way to pull it out. Other players like Chris Paul and Gordon have to play well. But I think James Harden understands that he has to be really effective if they're going to bench.
So we know Steph is starting, Chauncey, and we know that Kerr's not going to put them in harm's way, as you just said. But how will his play be impacted?
Well, huge. I mean, outside of Game 1 in that first round, Steph hadn't been the Steph Curry that we all fell in love with. So he'll be looking to probably be aggressive. They're going to attack him on his defensive end. So he's going to have to do the same thing, try to create some mismatches, maybe him attacking James Harden and trying to get himself going.
All right, Rockets 7-4 against this team when they've got CP3 on that floor, Paul. Why is it so different when he's out there?
Man, CP3, one of the greatest guards to ever play. He's that rock. When James Harden is struggling, that can bring calm to the offense. He can get up and pick and roll. He can score at the hoop. He can find other guys. This is why they brought Chris Paul in here, to take some of the responsibilities off James Harden when he struggles. So I look for Chris to have a big series here.
And you know what else beats? Something that may actually work in the Rockets' favor is facing the Warriors in this round versus in the finals.
It's interesting,
because we just saw Chris Paul healthy.
Right.
And available to play.
Yeah, a lot of people thought this could be the conference finals. It didn't line up that way. Who you got in Game 1, Chauncey?
I'm going Houston today.
Wow, another upset road win.
I think the Warriors are vulnerable. I think Houston is confident. They've had a lot of time in the Bay, as we know.
They have.
I'm going with the Rockets in Game 1.
I'm going with the Rockets as well. The Splash Brothers both are coming off injured ankles.
Okay.
And I understand the sense of urgency that the Rockets are going to come with.
Rockets should win this game. One day of rest for the Warriors, an early Sunday start. They've been resting, haven't had time to prepare for them. Rockets.
I think y'all are all wrong.
Rockets.
Sorry, you got beat.
I think Golden State wins. I think this has all been fun and games.
Make it a wager.
Mike Breen, Mark Jackson, Jeff Van Gundy, and Doris Burke will have this game's call. We will be here at halftime to join you.
Mark Jackson ain't coaching the team yet?
Not today, no.
Come on, NBA, let's get it together.
The NBA Playoffs Western Conference Semifinals on ABC is presented by Control Tower from Wells Fargo. This is you taking control. And in part by the uncompromising Cadillac SUVs.